In the last game before the All-Star break, the 48-40 Oakland Athletics traveled to Houston to take on the 49-39 Houston Astros. Here in a battle of AL West teams, Mike Fiers on the bump for the Astros. He's 6-6 in 18 games. And the first batter of the game, Billy Burns, almost takes the 3-2 pitch off the head of Fiers, but he ducks just in time. Got to get down. So then Burns takes second base on the steal. On the pitch to Vogt. Vogt would end up grounding out and moving Burns over to third, so Josh Reddick, the three-hole hitter, comes up and takes this one into the left center field gap that'll roll up against the garage doors and left. As Reddick has himself an RBI double, and the Oakland Athletics strike first as they take a 1-0 lead. So bottom half of the first now as Chris Bassett was on the mound for the Athletics. Bottom half of the first, one out. Carlos Gomez says you can watch that one go into the right field seats. He goes oppo-poppo with a solo shot to tie the game. His 10th dinger on the season. It's a 1-1 ball game. Top half of second now. Coco Chris draws himself a walk. He'll take first base. So Coco Chris, the veteran, on first, ends up taking off for second, but the pitch to Semien gets to the backstop, so he's able to get a no problemo. Semien would strike out, so Crisp is still on second now with one out, but Billy Burns comes up and slaps one into left field. It would be fielded. Burns goes Chris goes second to home, and Burns has himself a RBI single. So 2-1 Oakland lead here. Gomez comes up in the bottom half of the second. He pops this one up into shallow left field. Semien's there for that can of corn. Two hands for safety. Nothing going with the bases loaded for the Astros. So bottom half of the third now. Correa comes up, hits that one right back up the middle, past the glove of Bassett, almost takes his head off. As Correa has himself a single. Now with one out, Colby Rasmus comes up. He takes the 0-1 pitch into right field. Reddick would field. Correa's testing his arm. The throw, and Reddick has his throw get a little bit late as Correa gets him there before the throw. So runners on the corners now for Jake Marisnick. As he takes this one into left field, it'll be caught on a line drive by Crisp. And the Correa is able to tag up from third base and score to make it a 2-2 tie. And now we pick things up in the top half of the fifth as Josh Reddick's not a fan of ties. He's going to blast that one in the left center field gap yet again. This time it's just going a bit farther for his 98th career home run as it gives the A's a 3-2 lead here in the top half of the fifth. Move on to the bottom half of the fifth now as Carlos Gomez is laying down a bunt, a beautiful bunt, as nobody expected that. Bassett has to field it himself, but Gomez is able to get on over to first base, and that would knock Bassett out of the game. Can't get through 5 innings, so Kendall Graveman, the Alabama boy, comes into the bullpen. Bottom half of the fifth, still ground ball past the diving glove of Alonso. Gomez is going to go first to third, throw to the cutoff man, but he's not stopping there, and it's caught the Athletics off guard as Gomez goes first to home on a ground ball into right field somehow. Just caught the Athletics off guard, so now Josh Fields comes in, working with a 3-3 tie as Chris takes this one into right field. That's going to be down the line for a single. Chris would end up stealing second, and then Semien comes up. Full count, draws a walk. So Semien on first, sets up first and second for Billy Burns. And then Billy Burns takes the 2-2 into right field. That's going to be a single. Crisp is going to hole up at third base, so that sets up bases loaded for the two-hitter Stephen Vogt. And he's got himself a hitter's count, and he's taken that one, no doubt, into the Crawford Street boxes. Stephen Vogt, grand salami, makes it a 7-3 Oakland lead on his 12th home run of the season. And now it's 7-3, bottom half of the seventh, as Carlos Correa takes one into the Crawford Street boxes as well. That's even over the boxes. Carlos Correa, hashtag not a slugger, despite hitting a 429-foot bomb for his 14th dinger of the season. So then Mark Zepchinski comes into the bullpen for the Athletics, bottom of the eighth. 7-4 is the score. Ground ball to Semien at short, struggles with it, and Tyler White reaches on an error due to the poor fielding by Semien. So on first is White, next batter up is Castro, and some lefty-on-lefty action takes that into the left center field gap. Burns gets to it, but Tyler White is able to go first to home on the play on the RBI double from Jason Castro, as it's now a 7-5 ball game as we pick things up in the bottom half of the ninth. 7-5. Doolittle, 2 outs, gets Tyler White the ground to short, no error this time as Semien whips across the diamond, and that is your ball game as the Oakland Athletics come away with the victory here in the last game before the All-Star break, as they now improve to 49-40, and the Astros drop to 49-40, so these two teams are tied for first place in the AL West as of the All-Star break. Josh Reddick, deservedly so, picks up Player of the Game honors. He was 2 for 4 with a home run, a double, and 2 RBI. Billy Burns was 3 for 5 in the day with a multi-hit game and an RBI. Stephen Vogt had that grand slam, his only hit of the day. Coco Crisp, 1 for 4. Kendall Graveman gets the victory, the Alabama boy, 1-1. Doolittle gets his 23rd save of the season. Josh Fields gets the loss as he goes 4-5 now. And Carlos Correa had a day. He went 3 for 3 with a home run and 2 RBI, which is not enough for the Astros as they lose this game by 2 runs to the Athletics, 7-5. And that will wrap things up here for this edition of Oakland Athletics Baseball. I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I'm saying goodbye.